Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Queers of Time podcast.
I'm Matt.
I'm James.
I'm Kemi.
And I'm Kat.
And this is a podcast to talk about all the gay stuff in the Wheel of Time.
Because we're gay and we like the Wheel of Time. So first, let's give a shout out to our Patreon. So Rachel, thank you for joining us as a pedo friend, and Lurks, as always, thank you very much for supporting us as a feral venerator of Sirene.
So, there are countless turnings of the Wheel of Time. The wheel weaves threads of fate and love and spins a tapestry that comes out differently in every age. Some changes are minor twists, and some change the course of nations. In this age, called by some the Rainbow Age, the threads spin a rather colorful pattern in which four major characters are gay as hell. Today we'll be talking about Nynaeve, Cadsuane, Rand, and Perrin, and how their stories and the overall threads of the pattern might change in this new weaving. Just one word of warning, this episode does contain spoilers up to the very end of A Memory of Light.
Can we just talk about Cadsuane?
I'm sorry, can we take... Yeah, I'm sorry, let's... Before all of that...
I had the exact same reaction.
Can you repeat just one of those names for me, Matt?
How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce it?
No. I want to know how you pronounce it.
No more. We're on a time limit. How do you pronounce it?
No, it's okay. We're not going to re-record it. Everybody's going to get to hear this. Just tell me how you say it again.
No, I'm not. I refuse. I refuse to be shamed for my southern accent, which makes me add extra vowels at the end of words, and I will have you know that just because I don't say it the way that you do does not mean it is not.
He's getting more and more southern.
Okay, Blanche Devereaux, calm down.
That's okay. That's fine. We know we all have different pronunciation. I just was not expecting that pronunciation at all, so that got me completely off guard. I just say Cadsuane.
I say Cadsuane.
Yeah, it's Cadsuane.
Yeah.
Cadsuane. Okay, Mr. Patron.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I know how to read the fucking appendix where it has a pronunciation guide. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I cannot read phonetics, so
Yeah, but you're French. He's from here.
Louisiana is part French.
Yeah.
Anyways, the introduction. We decided to talk about four different characters. Each of us is taking one character and making them gay or queer. And we're doing, as I said, Cadsuane and Perrin and Rand and Nynaeve.
How dare you?
Sorry, Kat. Okay, well, to make up for that, Kat, I think I will let, and by let I mean we planned this, but for that forgetting, Kat, I think you can go first and tell us about Nynaeve and turning in which Nynaeve is queer.
Okay, I will forgive you.
that was way too easy.
I'm a Cancer and it's Cancer season, so.
Yeah, I'm like, Kat is the nice one out of all of us. The most forgiving.
Well, it sure as shit ain't you.
I am offended.
It's not me. It's not me and it's not Camille. So...
Come on, I'm a cheerleader.
I'm the one that's nice unless you piss me off.
All right, Kat, tell us about Nynaeve. Or, I'm sorry, Nynaeve.
Oof.
Oh, that's...
Oof.
I don't think even I was saying that way.
I don't think I can continue after that, actually.
That was going too far.
Okay, I have thought about this a lot. I've spent a long time thinking about this, if Nynaeve was queer, because this it may surprise people. She's my favorite character. I love her, maybe an unreasonable amount, and nothing delights me more than thinking about her queer, as a queer woman. And so, trying to think so I'm just going to do a timeline of it, because I think that's the easiest way that I can, just my own inner fan fiction is going to come out for a little bit.
I think we all made fan fiction while preparing for that.
I think that's exactly this. Yeah, it's going to be an episode of queer fan fiction, and honestly, I love that for us.
Yes,
it's good. So I think the biggest impact with Nynaeve being queer that it's going to have is her relationship with Moiraine. because my headcanon of queer Nynaeve is the reason that she's so antagonistic with Moiraine at the beginning is because she's crushing on her, but also she does not trust Aes Sedai.
It's like, I'm supposed to hate her. Why would I want to? No, I'm not gonna continue on that.
It writes, the fanfiction writes itself.
I'm supposed to hate her, but I want to be on my knees too.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. So, like it starts the same way. She meets Moiraine, is struck by her beauty, but is also like, she's an Aes Sedai, so that's a big, huge no-no. And then also there's, because Moiraine has taken the boys and Egwene away and all of that, and she has all of that still, anger towards her, but she's also realizing, I'm into this woman. And my thinking is and we mentioned that there are spoilers in this, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the big event, the thing that happens to Moiraine, which I still don't like to think about because it upsets me so much, but when that thing happens to Moiraine and everyone assumes that Moiraine is dead, Nynaeve is devastated. She is devastated.
You just want to add trauma.
Mm-hmm.
There's already trauma in that series.
Queer trauma is the best kind of trauma.
Queer trauma is the most delicious kind of trauma, though. It's the best kind.
As long as it doesn't depend on, being queer.
Yeah. Yeah. When it's queer trauma, I'm fine with it. It's when it's, the bad kind of trauma. That's no good. We don't want that. Yeah, so she thinks that she's lost Moiraine. It kind of resets things in her. So that's really when she comes into her own, and then enter Moghedien, aka maybe the character that I'm looking forward to the most out of any of the Forsaken, out of any of the future characters that are supposed to pop up. Because even just in and I mean, you guys, I'm not sure because I've heard different takes on Moghedien and Nynaeve's, sort of antagonistic relationship. Antagonistic is putting it, I think, mildly, but there are some homoerotic tones to that whole dynamic, and I feel like Nynaeve being queer is it sets a very good groundwork for enemies to lovers, and that is quite possibly one of my favorite tropes.
I mean, it's already the second time you have an enemy to lover in your story,
exactly.
So we get it.
Yeah. And I just feel like it would be such a richness, so they have this whole back and forth, and they're fighting with each other, and Nynaeve, captures Moghedien still, and Moghedien's like, okay, I guess I'm here, and Nynaeve is trying to get all this information, and then through all of that is when the magic starts, and that is when Moghedien realizes, maybe I don't need the Dark One. Maybe I can still be shady, and I can still be sneaky, because the Blue Aja exists. This is a thing that exists, and I feel like, especially with the way that the Blue Aja has been set up on the show, Moghedien would thrive with the Blue Aja. She would be very good.
Get her some Nynaeve.
Oh, god damn it. Why, Matt? Why?
We can't go one episode without the Ninosi. Just one episode.
I had forgotten about it. And now I remember it.
Okay, I'm curious. I'm not saying plot hole, but I am saying...
What kind of hole?
Oh, god damn it.
Why?
But I am saying... How would the White Tower forgive Moghedien for all of her crimes and allow her into the Blue Aja?
Oh, they don't need to know it's her.
Exactly.
Okay.
They don't need to know it's her. They don't. Moghedien, she is the Spider Queen. She is sneaky, and she's devious, and she's very good at disguises. I feel like it could work. I don't know. I feel like it could work. I think Nynaeve could fix her, you might say.
I just say Moghedien working in the White Tower. Can she make a business empire somewhere else instead? Because she's a business queen.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I feel like she's definitely
She's not gonna go do the same thing that Messana did.
No, that's true. Yeah, Moghedien's tactics are, I think, they're different than Messana. They're slightly different, and also. I feel like the White Tower is a little too toxic, maybe even for Moghedien. Moghedien's like, Actually, maybe not. So, never mind. Never mind the Blue Aja. But I still feel like Nynaeve could help Moghedien realize that she doesn't need the Dark One. She can build her own business empire anywhere she wants. She can be as shady as she wants. And she will have Queen Nynaeve by her side.
She'll create capitalism.
I mean, capitalism always exists, so...
So how does Nynaeve react when Moraine comes back?
This is a good question, because I think it's going to depend.
She hugs her.
Hmm?
Before the last battle, like, isn't there, like, Nynaeve hugging Moraine, and, like, Moraine is like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and so that all of that can still... So I think it depends on whether or not Moghedien and Nynaeve are together at that point. Because if they're still, if they're still kind of in that stage where, like, I'm feeling you, you're feeling me, but there's some shit happening and we don't have the time quite yet, and then, boom, Moraine comes back. I feel like that's good drama. Because now, all of a sudden, Nynaeve is like, this woman is back.
What if Moghedien almost go back to the Dark One because she's feeling threatened by the ex-crush of Nynaeve?
Ooh, the drama.
That is an entire season on the CW version of this show.
Oh, yes. And you know what? I would watch every second of it.
I know.
It would be so good.
Taking this chance for y'all to judge me and for me to trigger James again by saying I pronounce her name Moghedien.
That's fine. I've heard that one before. That doesn't faze me. I've never heard Cadsuane or something, whatever the fuck you said.
I didn't say Cadsuane. I said Cadsuane.
Cadsuane.
Anyways, I like this.
It sounds Italian.
Yeah.
I like this three-way, or this menage a trois.
You like this three-way?
Mm-hmm.
This menage a trois between Moraine, Moghedien, and Nynaeve.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's the only thing I wonder is how would that affect her relationship with Rand? Because that is kind of the one, like that's her relationship with Rand is one of like the one constant relationships that we sort of see. And it's really, really beautiful. But it would be interesting, especially with her maybe relating to Moraine before Moraine disappears in the first half of the series. Maybe she, she might relate a little bit more to Moraine because she's feeling Moraine a little bit. And that might make Rand feel some type of way. I don't know.
Maybe.
No, another wrinkle in this is whether or not our individual fanfic scenarios are in the same turning or not. So,
No.
how... Camille says no. I say for Rand at least yes. And I will reveal why later.
Ooh.
Yeah, Perrin is fine. He's not going to interact with Nynaeve or Moghedien that much.
No, it's gonna affect Rand. But I'll let Kat finish the Nynaeve.
No, I was just saying, are we creating our own multiverse here?
I think so.
Oh God.
I mean, it's already what we are doing.
If James and Camille want to have their own like independent existing little gay Perrin, gay Cadsuane universes, it's fine. But gay Rand and gay Nynaeve can totally hang out in the same continuity.
Oh yeah.
Perrin isn't going to do anything with y'all.
So it's the books.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the books.
Yes, technically all of them could last, could be together. But like, isn't that more interesting to have like 4 universes that are gays and only one that is extra gay? Okay, no, maybe we can...
Yeah, I was like 1 extra gay.
We can have 5 universe, one where all of our scenario happens, and 4 other when one of each scenario is happening.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know. Kat talking about Nynaeve and Moraine's relationship sort of changes how I feel about a part of a climactic bit of A Memory of Light if there were to be a gay Rand. So we can, and I can talk about that when we get there.
Yes. Actually, aren't you next?
Yeah,
I am. If Kat's done,
I'm done. I'm very happy with this fan fiction.
I think it's great. I think I wouldn't trust Robert Jordan to write it, but I certainly would. I mean, there'd be so many spankings.
Lord, no.
I mean, I'm sorry. With Robert Jordan, you would have like full BDSM, Nynaeve and Moghedien, and maybe that would be something that people would enjoy.
Yeah, I'm like, would Nynaeve be a most definite top?
Okay, we're going to move on now.
Will Moghedien have to learn to bottom?
This is, you know what? you bring up a very good point, and it's something that I did not discuss, and I think it's important.
But it's something you've thought about a lot.
It's something I've thought about a lot. Who is the top?
This is a family podcast, okay?
Is it?
Is it Nynaeve? I think Nynaeve is the top in this relationship.
We don't need a top, we don't need a bottom.
I know, Camille, but it's fun to...
We need to move on.
Just play with me in this space, please.
I hate the concept.
We can't all be switches like you, Camille.
Okay. I am pulling it back in.
Oh, are you?
Oh
Oh, God. Oh, no.
no! What the fuck?
James.
I don't know what to do here anymore.
What's going on?
Let's just let Matt talk about his fan fiction. Okay, so I have chosen to queer up in this timeline Rand, and I had a hard time choosing who to pick, but I ultimately landed on Rand because I think I wanted to avoid the overdone Matt is bi or pan idea. You know, I'd love for him to be bi, if only for his chemistry with Galad. And Galad is another one I wanted to, thought about. I do have the whole Galad accounts on Twitter of Time, which started off as Galad, but just sort of became me being a more angry, feral version of myself on Twitter. But I think it would be really awesome, actually, to have a gay chosen one. And even today, I think it would be sort of groundbreaking in fantasy because a lot of queer protagonists in fantasies are protagonists in queer-themed fantasies, and that's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I love them. The Tarot Sequence by Katie Edwards is a queer urban fantasy series, and it's phenomenal. But I mean like a queer or a gay chosen one in a fantasy series that's not necessarily focused on that specifically. So, also, Rand is my little baby, and him being gay would just add more trauma to him, and he would suffer even more probably. And that's just something that I'm totally here for, I love how us queer people are like, we're so tired of queer trauma on TV, but also put us in charge so we can traumatize them even more. Anyways.
If we do it, it's okay.
Yeah, when we do it, it's fine. When the straights traumatize queers, it's homophobic and it's awful. When we do it, it's our cute little meow meows.
Yeah.
Our cute little meow meows.
Sometimes we need the pain before the joy.
It's true.
There's a Madonna song about that. But anyway, so how would this affect Rand's story? Well, the first is that he would get a new, I think polycule is the name of it. I'm not sure what the correct...
Yes.
Okay. And it would actually be a mutual thing, which I'm pretty sure that's where the show is headed with Rand and Avienda and Elaine and Min. Mm-hmm. But if Rand is gay, he needs, or if he's queer, actually I'm making him queer in this, I'm not making him gay. And the reason why is, brace yourself, James, the first member of his new polycule is still going to be Min.
Are they still a sexy lamp?
No.
Okay, then I'm fine with it.
So in this universe, Elaine and Avienda are together and gay and happy. And Min is fully non-binary and uses they-them pronouns.
Yes.
And they would be Rand's emotional rock, just like they are in the books. I would first of all make their emotional connection with Rand and how they support him in his mental health more explicit. I would make them more explicitly queer and gender fluid. And I would also give them a larger role in the last battle. As for the second, I think anybody who knows me knows who the second one's going to be, and that's going to be Asmodean. I don't know how you pronounce it in your fancy...
No, that's correct. I was actually surprised.
Oh, thank you.
You don't need to be surprised, James.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I being one of the mean, nasty gays again?
And I'm the mean one. I don't get it.
I love that, James, you said that in the bitchiest way possible.
Me is the scary one. James is the bitchy, judgy one.
I'm not scary.
Okay, fine. You're not that scary. Okay, so yeah, Asmodean is the second in Rand's polycule, and this is actually something that Rafe has the chance to do because, he says he's going to gay stuff up. So, Rafe, I am asking you now to cast Harry Styles as Asmodean and give him a redemption arc. Okay, so the Harry Styles bit apart. Okay, if it wasn't Harry Styles, it'd be Freddie Mercury. Those are my only two fan casts for Asmodean.
Oh my god. I would love that.
I mean, so it's going to be complicated, but...
Not with the powers I have.
Just a bit of necromancy.
Anyways, so what this would do it would serve Asmodean really well too, because it would complicate his character, give him a redemption arc. I would cut out his death and have him finding value in himself that isn't tied to the dark, and it could be a really heartwarming sort of finding your worth. And he'd also be a great romantic foil to Rand, because he's one of the few who understands what he's going through. So, and I just want to clarify, because we have a trend on social media for all these aunties who are just so weird. Before you complain about the 3,000-year age difference, you can just piss off, because it's fantasy and Rand is 20 and you can get the hell over it. There's nothing wrong with a consensual relationship between a 20-year-old and a 3,300-year-old person, okay? We're just gonna establish that.
Where do these people that hate you so much exist? Where do they exist, Matt?
When do you actually get cancelled?
I wish you would get canceled. Just
once.
Do not forget, or remember that I am not just Matthew L. Reyes on Twitter. I am the admin of several other accounts that have had much conflict with these types.
Yeah, but people don't know that's you.
It doesn't matter.
So people hear you saying that you're going to get cancelled again, and they're like, when were you cancelled?
We'll talk about that later. Anyways, if you're hearing this, Wraith, please make Asmodean gay and give him a redemption arc, because through the dragon's dick, we are all cleansed.
Why am I the one that Matt constantly yells at?
Because you're filthy and you're dirty.
And then he says things like that.
I've been saying Matt like at least 3 times in the beginning of that episode, so I mean...
Okay.
I think that's our episode title, by the way.
Oh yes.
Through the dragon's dick, we are all cleansed.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what it is.
Yay! I came up with the title this time.
Yep.
Okay. So the last member of Rand's polycule is Logain, who is another character who would be a great person to make queer in the show. When Logain and Rand make eye contact in book 1, it would be the start of a love affair from far away, and they would remember each other and just not be able to stop thinking about the other one, and then they finally meet. And this is actually an important one, because it would really vastly change the course of the series and the trajectory.
Can I just say something? Like, because that Rand and Logain, I didn't know you could have less content than Rand and Elaine, and still you prove me wrong here.
Thank you. Okay, so this is how...
Honestly?
Like, I like it, but at the same time, it's like, when do they meet?
When do Elaine and Rand meet?
No, I'm talking about Rand and Logain.
Oh, I don't know, they fuck in a barn or something. Okay, so my new storyline is with men keeping him grounded and Asmodean keeping him humble and sexually satisfied. Rand's biggest issue is the divided Black Tower. Given how close he is to Logain in this time way, he and Logain would find a way to communicate more directly. Maybe it's through a lesbian Terangrial mirror or something similar. But Logain can tell Rand through their mirror that Mazrim Tame is suspicious as hell. Because Tame is just off doing his own thing throughout the entirety of the series, and this way Logain and Rand have a direct connection due to their gay magic mirror communication system. And this would culminate in them just realizing that Tame is evil somehow. And I envision this to leading to a really epic battle at the Black Tower, where Rand and Logain march on the divided tower, and the forces loyal to them and Tame clash. And with his remaining forces, Tame, who is actually Demandred, because that would be a much better ending, reveals his identity and flees with half of the Black Tower. And that way we get all of that boring mess out of the way before the last battle. Like, I'm sorry, I love Pavara and I love whatever dude she's with. I just love her mostly. But that whole thing, the whole Black Tower thing, was ridiculous. So this leads into Nynaeve and Maureen and how their queerness would be awesome in my timeline as well. So during the last battle, Logain is doing battle, but Min and Asmodean follow Rand to the cave with Nynaeve and Moraine. And Asmodean lends his power to Moraine and Nynaeve as well. That means that literally everybody fighting the forces of dark are queer, and James is currently doing the sign of the cross over themselves. But you know what?
It's because I read ahead on your notes. And I'm saying a prayer in advance for a word you're going to say.
Let's do it.
I just read it. Oh no.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't read it. You have to say it.
Okay, well, so Logain, and so while Rand and Asmodean and Min and Nynaeve and Moraine are being queer and fighting Moradin, or whatever the hell his name is, in the cave, Logain is, instead of retreating during his battle with Demandred, gains the upper hand, and he is joined by Lan, and the two whoop that Demandredacy into oblivion.
Say it once more, please. Once more.
Demandredacy.
No, it's too long. I'm sorry to say.
It's a mouthful.
Demandredacy. Okay. To wrap up my Rand is queer timeline.
Oh no, okay, I need to say something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was rereading that world, and I separated it at different places. So now I have Demand Red Pussy.
Okay, Leandrin, calm down.
And I hate myself.
It's okay.
Everyone else does too, it's fine.
So, while I'm changing shit and just doing my own thing, so after the last battle, Asmodean and Min follow Rand, who lives without that weird fucking ass twist body switch. So Asmodean and Min follow Rand to a secluded wooden cabin in the Misty Mountains, and they live out their days happily and queerly ever after. And Logain becomes the Emerald equivalent of the Black Tower, and I guess occasionally uses the magical lesbian portal mirror from season 1 to visit his gingerbread man.
He doesn't need that. He knows us too.
He knows how to gateway, yeah.
Oh yeah, there are gateways by now. Yeah, so Logain can just gateway for that gingerbread man.
Wait, if you just open the... Can you make a glory hole out of a gateway?
Oh no. You know what? I knew that's what you were going to say.
That is filthy. That is absolutely filthy, and this is a Christian family channel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But can you? I think you can. You would just have to be really, really careful, because if you
You'd have to be extremely precise.
Okay,
Just don't make one for Trollocs, okay?
Okay, well,
No, I'm just thinking about the Trolloc trying it out and losing his dick.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what if in the throes of orgasm you lose control of the weave, and then...
Oh
no more dick? Or do you tie it off, but then you have to be very confident that it's going to stay tied off?
It's true.
Or you have someone else doing it, in which case you have to give them all the control. But maybe that's like a kink thing. Maybe that's like the power play.
Maybe it is.
Okay, well, we're going to move on to Camille.
I just want to say one thing.
I need the light.
I think we all need the light here.
Bringing us back to the light away from this awful place that James has brought us.
So, Logain has never been my favorite character. I kind of actually dislike him throughout the series, except for a few moments. I just don't find him interesting. The show is doing much better with him.
Mm-hmm.
But this timeline that you've created, Matt, I'm into this.
Oh, thank you.
Like, I'm just imagining him and Rand making eye contact from afar and just see the first time they see each other, and it's just like, like the swelling music and like the the hearts go around their heads, and this is good stuff. Rafe, make it happen.
Please, Rafe, make it happen. Make Rand get with Logain and Harry Styles, who plays Asmodean, and just have Elaine and Avienda be lesbians together and happy. Okay, Camille, it is time for your timeline.
Mine is not going to be as fancy, as original as everyone else, mostly because it's not just a fan fiction. It's a pitch for Rafe.
Okay. I love it.
So, we're going to talk about Cadsuane. And I have issue with Cadsuane in the books. Many people have issue with her. She's a problematic person. She's a bully, whatever. But what I really hate about her is that she becomes a Merlin Seed. Mostly because she comes after Egwene, which we have seen for like many, many books, having this fresh view of the world and challenging like Aes Sedai customs and how Aes Sedai should, like what role Aes Sedai should play in this world. So when Cadsuane takes place, it really feels like all of those great innovative ideas that Egwene had are gonna just be pushed back and removed, and everything she wanted about like the king was more Elaine's thing. But like there was really this idea of collaboration between the different type of channeling and being more open in the White Tower. And that just gone when we don't really know how Cadsuane would act as the Merlin Seed, but she's definitely not as open-minded as Egwene on a bunch of different things.
Right, it would be regressive.
Yes. And at the same time, regarding the TV show, I am of the opinion that I don't think any of the endgame of the Two River folks is going to change in the show. People that are dying are going to die, and people that doesn't die will end with the same relationship they had. Because I feel like it's those are the main characters of the TV show and of the books. And I mean, I don't. Maybe Rafe would want to go through such a fallback of changing big stuff like that, but I don't think it will. And yeah, so yeah, I love you, Egwene, but you're gonna die. So
I love you, Egwene, but you're gonna die.
But you're gonna die.
I mean, do you agree or not about like the?
I don't think it would change anything.
No.
You're totally right there.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already foreshadowed. Only people don't realize it, but they've already foreshadowed what happens with Egwene. So I can't see them changing that at this point.
Yeah. And so anyway, so her death and her being replaced by Cadsuane really left me a bitter taste when finishing the books, because I'm not really hopeful about how the world end up after the last battle. In a sense, like especially regarding the state of women channelers, they still have the Ascension to deal. They are back to old tradition. They still don't have a good agreement between like wise women and Aes Sedai, and they don't deal at all with the Black Tower. So it's really feels, I'm not really hopeful about how they're gonna figure it out. And maybe Avienda's prediction about the Ascension will still happen because of that. Which means I need to feel more confident that Cadsuane can still follow / apply some of Egwene's ID despite being an Aes Sedai of the old world. Which means I need to see Cadsuane having some change of her opinion and becoming more open-minded during the show, so that she's a character that I actually trust by the end of it to, do a good job. And so I know I've talked about Cadsuane, I've talked about Egwene. I haven't talked at all about Cadsuane's sexuality and what it would mean about that. And technically, just being gay doesn't mean you're going to be more open-minded. But it's also interesting because, one person that I think Cadsuane would be a good match with is this old wise woman that has little to no power, which is Sorelia. I don't know how to say that. Yeah. And so what do I want to say? Yeah, Cadsuane is really a bully that doesn't evolve enough. So she has some respect for non-Aes Sedai. Some non-Aes Sedai, she kind of respect Rand by the end of it, but it takes a really long time, and she's a bully. She's very annoying. So I kind of want her to be confronted to other custom and other tradition, and do the expat thing, and which I'm very familiar with doing. Being an expat, open your minds a lot. Do that. So yeah, if she could have some relationship with a Nynaeve woman. So Sorelia, she's a great candidate because she's weak as fuck in the power. So that's challenged definitely the power dynamic of the tower. She's still very influential as among the wise ones. and she wouldn't have never been as influential as she was among the Aiel if she was at the White Tower. And in the book, Cadsuane is actually surprised by that and also ends up respecting her. So it just wouldn't be a big shift to actually like have them become Sing. The two of them even make a pact at some point to make Rand remember how to laugh and like remember laughter and tears. And that's like I think it's when Cadsuane also learned how to travel and to make gateway because Sorelia tell her what's the weave to do that, even if Sorelia doesn't actually know, like isn't actually able to make a portal because she's too weak. But that's how Cadsuane learned about that. And so anyway, I think that would be an interesting change of Cadsuane character. That would be maybe a way to make her a bit more relatable. Like I don't want to just hate her. That's yeah. And also we have little to no representation of like older people in queer relationships. So two older ladies finding some common ground and enjoying it. I mean, yes, I would love to see that.
How are you going to avoid the mean old lesbian trope?
Lean into it.
Okay, so the thing is that you only have to avoid the mean old lesbian trope if it's the only thing you see.
Okay, that's fair.
If you have a bunch of other queer representation, yes, you can have a mean old lady.
Okay,
we have some mean old lesbian ladies.
I personally love a mean old lesbian.
I am a meaner older lesbian. Thank you very much.
Whatever you.
I mean, out of all of us, you do exude that energy quite a bit. Yeah, I guess, Kat, you do have the hots for Jean Smart, so that tracks.
I mean, can you blame? Like, listen, it's Jean Smart. Who can blame me? I dare anyone.
Okay, I like it. I like the idea of Cadsuane being just take the edge off a little bit while giving her more of an edge in some ways.
Can she have multiple cats and be even angrier? Camilla's looking at me like they want to kill me now.
I never want to kill you.
I just want you to not exist for a while.
That's not even true. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, sure, go on. But that's it.
And then it just gets worse.
Anyway, James, do you want to... I think
Yes.
you're the last one.
I am the last one. And I will say, the other hosts here, when I started writing mine up, I did mine like a timeline of everything that would change in Perrin's story. And they all yelled at me so much. They were like, James, are you rewriting the entire story? And I'm like, yes, because that's what the point of this is. So I'm going to start out. Perrin has always been my favorite of the Two Rivers kids in the beginning. I do not like him afterwards, but I am going to fix him. He was always very soft and gentle in the Two Rivers, and that read is very, very queer to me. It's just very soft gay boy, which is cute. I like it. Obviously, he's crushing on Rand. He thinks Matt is a bit of a disaster, and he doesn't want any part of that, but he loves Rand. Because, Rand is also kind of even keel. So when Rand...
Gotta get that ginger.
Yes, we all love gingerbread, or whatever the fuck you said.
Oh, no.
Anyway, it really fucks with Perrin when he gets separated from Rand at Shadar Logoth, because, that had been a constant for him, but he realizes that he has to take care of, Egwene, he has to deal with all of that, and then he meets the wolves, and I view the wolves as, a very being more comfortable with yourself moment. He realizes that there's something weird about him, but he also realizes that who he is valid, and his feelings are valid. And it's more of a realization moment, okay, I have to deal with this. I can't stop worrying about, all of this other stuff, feelings for Rand and all of that nonsense. So I just think that the wolves are very symbolic of that. So Gaul, when he meets Gaul in, I believe it's the Dragon... No.
Yes.
The Dragon Reborn?
Yes.
Okay. He's been dealing with Rand and Rand's nonsense in the Misty Mountains for a while now. And he's kind of over Rand. Because Rand's a little too emo now. And Perrin meets Gaul, and he breaks Gaul free, like he does.
And he breaks him.
Yeah. Matt, I don't like you. But then instead of Gaul running away, Gall and Perrin, for whatever reason, maybe it's a tug of the pattern. And Matt, don't you dare make a joke about tug. I swear to God, I see your face. I'm just saying, don't. Maybe it's just a little bit of the pattern, but Gall stays.
Rub-a-dug-tug.
Gall stays. And
I like that you warned him and he did it anyway. That's the best part.
I wasn't going to beforehand, and then James put the idea in my head.
oh, I think you were.
No, I really wasn't. I really was not.
Okay, so instead of Fael jumping aboard the ship, because that's exactly when that happens, like same town,
Yes.
Meridon. So instead of Fael jumping aboard the ship, Gall does. Fael is just, a few towns away. Maybe she missed the boat.
She tried to jump.
She tried to jump and she failed. And she died. No, I actually have plans for her.
Oh
God.
So basically all of the things that happen with Fael in the books and Perrin happen with Gall instead. So like Gall is a little dumb himbo and gets caught by that dream Terangrial in Tyr. Perrin professes his love. And instead of Fael going behind Perrin's back when he has to go to the Two Rivers to save his family, Gall is just up front with him and is like, bitch, I can take care of myself. And Perrin's like, yeah, okay, you can't take care of yourself, I guess. They go to the Two Rivers. Gall holds Perrin while he cries. They rescue all of the Two Rivers people from the White Cloaks, and they're much more effective about it because, Gall is Aiel and really, really good at what he does.
He's good at working that hammer.
I swear to God. How many times can I hate you in one episode?
It's my mission to raise the count every time.
All right, so we get to Aram, who... Aram is a very complicated character in the books, and I wanted more for him. So the pattern in this Rainbow Age is going to make Aram, Gall, and Perrin a nice little triad.
Aww.
It's going to be sweet. It's going to be cute.
And then they die.
And then they don't die.
We don't bury our gay here.
Yeah, they're just very, very cute. But when Perrin eventually rescues Morgaze, who also, we've never talked about how Morgaze's name is Morgaze.
Morgaze? Yeah.
Anyway, Gall realizes that something's off about her because Gall is a lot more observant than Perrin, which isn't hard to do. It's not hard to do. Perrin confronts Morgaze, learns who she is, and Perrin, being a loyal-ish Andor person, agrees to help Morgaze take the throne back in exchange for the Two Rivers being its own separate part of Andor, kind of like how Mayan is separate. So anyway, the greatest part about this is that it eliminates the Elaine succession storyline, which is everyone's favorite part of the Wheel of Time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind it.
Really, you don't mind it?
It's political.
It's just a lot of plotting and scheming and Elaine. And
I liked the stuff with her and Brigitte, like that part of it I enjoyed, but it just seemed like it went on for too long.
Yeah, but like everything in those 4 books.
Yeah.
Like every storyline in those 4 books goes on too long because one of those books should not have made it through.
Yeah.
At least.
Should have been some editing.
Anyway, this delays the Massima. Is it Massima? Massima's plot a little bit, but when they eventually do get to Massima, Gall immediately kills him. And because Gall doesn't take any shit, and Gall sees that he's a danger to Perrin and Rand and everybody, Perrin and Aram are a little bit frustrated with Gall for doing this, though, because Way of the Leaf and also Perrin is very pacifistic, but he kind of, there's a tense period, but he eventually forgives Gall, and Aram is kind of like instrumental in that. Because Aram is all about keeping the peace and mending the relationship. And even though Aram doesn't care for violence, and he hasn't taken up the sword yet in this, because he doesn't need to, he understands why Gall did what he did. Unfortunately, in this turning of the wheel, there is still the Shido plotline, where Gall is captured by the Shido.
Oh, come on, James.
Gall is captured by the Shido, and because he's Aiel, he has to become Gai Shin and wear white, serving them for a year and a day. So during this, Perrin has Aram to keep him a little bit more sane, so he's not like, losing his entire goddamn mind all over the place and threatening to kill people all the time. And with the help of Morghese, who is now restored as Queen of Andor, and the fortuitousness of Galad being there, and this is also where Morghese and Galad meet up, and that's a whole nother story, but it's also delicious. They're able to eliminate the Shido, which eliminates their need to go to the Shan-Chan, so we can eliminate that plot as well. So, the problem here is that Gaul is still Gaishain, because he thinks it's his duty to wear white for the entire time. Because he's Aiel. It basically, we're going to keep the chapters-long story, the CW version, where Perrin and Aram are trying to convince Gaul that they aren't really Aiel. They can go ahead and, Gaul doesn't need to wear white because it's not a valid Gaishan thing. Maybe Bane and Chiad make an appearance and there's a little cameo and they get through to them. Also, Bane, Chiad, and Fael are another triad.
Oh.
So that's cute. But eventually Gaul realizes, okay, fine, I guess I don't have to deal with this. And they're all happy together. Nothing else really changes because after that I like Perrin, so just replace Fael with Perrin, or with Aram and Gaul, and it's the exact same story.
So, did you decide to make Gaul Gaishan because it would play into BDSM dungeon?
Yes, and Gaul is actually a most definite top who does learn to bottom.
Okay, that's what I thought. You filthy, filthy thing.
Aram is actually a strict dom top, weirdly.
Really?
And you thought about this.
I'm sorry, Camille, we're talking about tops and bottoms again. I'm sorry.
I know. But it's men, so I get it.
Oh, it's okay when it's guys? It's okay when there's a penis involved? Because the penis has to go somewhere?
I guess, technically, I don't know.
He's like, yeah.
Wow. And during Pride Month, even though this is not going to be released until September.
It's okay.
That was it for my story.
Yeah, I think that takes us through our 4 queer turnings of the wheel. Well, 3, since Kat and mine are part of the same universe.
Mine's the same as y'all's. I don't care. You just don't want it to be part of? Okay, I get it.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I don't know if I want our universe to have the Shido plotline.
I mean, I can't be mad at you for that, but I just think of it as an hours-long CW drama type thing. And eventually you get tired of it, but then finally Gaul sees the point and he's like, okay, I get it. And it's this big arc for him. And, just think of it like a running up that hill moment.
Okay, but that was cinematic perfection. This would be a seasons-long mopey-dopey.
You know what? As soon as you said that, I instantly had the urge to go and watch that again. Just that bit from Stranger Things. Anyway.
I cannot watch that scene with Max and Vecna because it just makes me have emotions.
I haven't watched Stranger Things, so I have no freaking clue what you all are talking about.
That's okay. Listen to Kate Bush. She's weird.
Yeah.
So this was our fan fiction. I hope you all enjoyed these different turnings of the wheel. Before we go, though, I think we have a game, perhaps?
Yes.
And Kat is the one to choose the names.
Oh, I forgot.
I also forgot about the game. I highlighted the outro. I was like, okay, someone do the outro now, but I forgot about a game. I'm so sorry. I feel bad.
It's okay. You got me to keep you on the straight and narrow.
Scared straight.
That's what I do, baby.
Okay, Kat, go ahead. Stop being distracted by Matt.
We're doing Igloo Bond Balefire again, and I have pre-selected 3 names, and I have named this category, I guess. Where's All My Soul Sisters? That's the name of the category.
Okay.
It's from Lady Marmalade, the version with yeah.
Where's All My Soul Sisters?
Exactly. And I was singing that song the entire time as I was choosing the names for this.
Okay, so give us a name. I have no clue who that could be.
So the first one is Amos. Amos. The second one is Sumeko, so if you're not sure who Sumeko is,
Who the fuck?
yes, I'm good. Don't worry. You I think you will realize who she is once I explain it a bit. She is one of the kin. So she's one of the ones that goes with Nynaeve to find the bowl. So she's one of the oldest ones in the knitting circle. Sumeko. The third one is Shalon Din Togara Morningtide. And she is one of the, she's Windfinder of the Sea Folk.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Can I just balefire all of them?
Just because you don't care about them.
Balefire all of them?
Okay,
You have to play the game, Camille.
I'll go first. I would balefire Amis because she's mean and she scares me. I would probably igloo Shalon, not Shalon Devar, of the Stormlight Archive series. But you're next, Brandon. We're going to dirty up your characters too. I would igloo her because, I don't know, Windfinders seem to be like very fun people to be around.
Are we sexualizing Windfinders?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Camille, this is not Tumblr. You don't have to take the worst interpretation of what I'm saying.
No, that was actually a question because I was about to igloo her too.
I mean, yeah, let's just sexualize them then. Anyways, I'd sex her, and then I would bond Sumiko because I don't know, the kin, they seem like they're a good head on their shoulders, and she would be a good domestic partner to have. I feel like she could do some chores, I could do some chores. We would share alike equally, and making a life together. Aww. Even though I'm seeing Rand on the side.
I can go next. I will igloo the Windfinder because we are sexualizing Windfinders here. I will balefire Sumiko because I have no freaking clue who that is, and I will bond Amis because actually I know her name, and I mean she's married to Ruak, right? And I like Ruak, so if Ruak has good taste, then she must be a good person to bond. Anyway,
I would igloo Amis because I think she would be fun for one time, but I don't want to live that Aiel life. I am not made for that. I am also going to balefire Sumiko because she's lived a long life. She's fine. Like, and then I would bond Shalon because I've always liked the Sea Folk a lot. I think their culture is a little harsh, but at least they're at sea all the time. And there's naked people. And I like that. So that is my answer. I will igloo Amis, balefire Sumiko, bond Shalon.
There we go. So for me, I would also igloo Amis because I also am not cut out for the Aiel lifestyle. It's too much. It's too much. It's just too much. Yeah, I'm just not cut out for it.
It was 95 degrees here yesterday, and I was not happy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to do well in there.
But it's a dry heat.
Heat is heat. I'm sorry. And it takes me, once it's above a certain temperature, sweating instantly.
Yeah.
So, igloo Amis, I would bond Shalon, because then we could do a triad between her and, because she's the one who's hooking up with the noblewoman.
Oh,
yes.
I forgot.
She's the one who's hooking up with the noblewoman. And also, I also love the Sea Folk. So I feel like, yes, I would bond her. And then, I mean, unfortunately, I would balefire Sumiko, but that's just process of elimination because, yeah.
And she's old, that's fine.
And she's old, that's a good point.
So much ageism in this podcast.
She's like 400. Also, you were literally talking about like a 3,300-year-old bony and a 20-year-old, so calm down.
Which is fine. They're both above the age of consent.
I mean... Are you okay, James?
I'll be fine.
For our listeners, James is making dramatic expressions.
Warranted dramatic expressions.
Do you think our podcast is going to get reported for, I don't know.
Quite frankly, I'm surprised that it hasn't already.
It's because we only have 2 episodes out, okay?
Yeah, the first 2 episodes are very tame.
That's true. The spicy stuff has not come out yet. Oh boy.
Oh, I'm sure someone's going to try to report us, but I'm not going to get into that.
Okay, so I think we're good for today. So, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Queers of Time podcast. If you liked our show, please give us a review on Apple Podcast. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Queers of Time, and you can join our Discord server. If you're able, we'd love to have your support through Patreon. We've got a lot of nice benefits there, and this helps us cover the cost of producing the podcast. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for putting up with us for 5-6 episodes.
Thank you all for listening. This was Queers of Time, a Wheel of Time podcast. The music is Dance of the Witches by Julius H.